There it is. Getting bit up. Oh, it's in the afternoon. It's hot as shit here in Texas. So who's up? Who is online? So I'm gonna give y'all something. I'm gonna give y'all a gem. Just a part of a gem. I'm gonna give y'all a little preview of a gem to kind of help you. Hey, Miss Margot. Hey, Montrese. Hey. So I want y'all to hit that share. I want you to hit the share button. I want you to hit the share, hit the share, hit the share. Somebody share it to the groups share to your page. Share. Because Spirit is telling me that somebody needs what I'm about to say. So I love my clients. I don't ever divulge personal information, but in speaking to clients, like Spirit like literally gives me revelations and stuff and kind of brings to consciousness of what I need to say. But hey Josh, hey Sabrina, hey Latasha, I want y'all to hit the share, keep hitting the share, tell everybody to share, hit the share, tag friends as you share, because somebody needs to hear what I'm about to say. And I hope y'all can hear it. Can y'all hear? Because I forgot I turned this goddamn phone off. There it is. Alright. Hopefully y'all can hear. Alright. So, hey Miss Melody. Hey Sabrina. Alright. So, I'm going to give y'all some gold. I'm going to give y'all some gold to help you if you are struggling, if you don't know how to get out of debt, if you are in poverty, if you are poor as shit, and if you're trying to start a business. So, the thing is, alright, so when it comes to success, well, you know what, let me start here. So, I was talking to a client that I talked to, and whatever, Josh. So, I was talking to a client, and he asked me, you know what, my rent is due. How do I get the Spirit to help me? How do I create money? Because I've been mentoring him and teaching him, you know, how to come into himself. And he was like, well, how do I get from the state that I'm in now? I don't know what to do. I see everybody else creating ways to make money, but what do I do? How do I do this? Because he's hard-headed as fuck, and I have to tell him, look, you have a soul purpose. You have a soul purpose. You have a gift. Not only one gift, you have several gifts. And with this gift, you can create ways to get out of debt. It is not necessary for you to work. It is like you seriously can work for yourself. Because he was like, well, you know, what's the difference between if I go work for a person and make money from them than working for myself? Well, you're putting your own money in yourself. You're investing in yourself. You're creating wealth for yourself. So the thing about it is, success is not going to come easy. You are going to have to put some work into it. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. There are no quick fixes. I am into all type of spiritual workings. I do practices from hoodoo, voodoo, whatever. I do all types of spiritual practices. But my spiritual practices are to increase my chances of what I desire. So I do the work to manifest it. I do the work to be a vibrational match to make sure that what I'm asking for. So, for example, if I need $10,000, and this works for me every time. If I need $10,000, I am going to petition the Spirit and put myself in the vibration of having that. If I choose to use a deity, if I choose to use Orisha or my favorite Papa Legba, if I decide to use them, that is them helping me, giving me the energy to make it easier to be able to get what I need and what I ask for. So I'm asking for $10,000. I am not going to sit on my ass and expect that $10,000 to knock at my door or to magically appear in my bank account. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create ways and means for it to happen. I'm not going to plan it, but I will create ways and means for it to happen. So, if you were experiencing, so for me, after I left my husband's house, I was literally in poverty. I had nowhere to fucking stay. I had no friends, no family, nowhere to stay. And I managed to be able to get money to get into a hotel. So I was working. I actually hadn't started working yet. And me and my husband got in a situation where I ended up going to jail. And because I went to jail, because apparently I got an anger problem, and the cops were like, look, if you're going to fight him, you got to go. You got to get off the premises. So, long story short, I ended up having to move. Well, I wasn't working. My husband was the only one taking care of me. So I had to move. So I had to find a way to manifest the money. So I had to go inside of myself and manifest the money. I put myself as a vibrational match to money. I visualized myself having money. And after I did that, I created different ways and means to bring in money. And because of that, someone sent me a request for a reading, a request for t-shirts, and I was able to manifest the money to be able to stay in a hotel. So when it comes to poverty, how do you go from being in poverty? How do you go from I'm struggling with bills? How do you go from I'm dependent on my job? I don't know how to not be dependent on my job. Well, it takes mindset work. It literally takes mindset work. But I'm going to give you some ways that you can use without giving you full details, because if you want full details, you got to sign up for my class. You seriously got to sign up for my class, because it will make a huge, huge, huge difference. So, you are struggling with your bills. You don't know how to get by. You don't know how to change. You know that there's something wrong. So, everything is energy, literally. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care what your spiritual belief is. Every fucking thing is energy. And energy matches energy. Remember that. Energy is always going to be a match of energy. 2 can never be 5. 2 is always going to be a 2. So if you want to be a 2 and you're a 1, you got to add some shit to it to be 2. A 2 is never going to be 11. There's no possible way. I don't care how you put it. 2 is always going to be 2. 11 is always going to be 11. If you're trying to get to 11, you got to add shit to become an 11. Everything is energy. Remember that. Every fucking thing is energy. And as long as you keep in mind that every fucking thing is energy, then in order to become an energy match to whatever it is, so if you're trying to get wealth, if you're trying to get success, if you're trying to build your business, if you're trying to get out of poverty, the thing that you need to do is put in your mind, your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind, put in your subconscious mind that you are going to be a vibrational match. This is how people, when they talk about, I lived in my car, and then I had this great business plan, I wrote this book, I did this, I did that, I used the laws of attraction, and boom, I'm a multimillionaire. This is how they do this shit. This is how I went from being poor to having a bank account full of money. I have so much money in my bank account that they decided to tell me, you got 28 days to use your account, because now we got to audit you to see where all this fucking money came from. So my money is on fucking hold. That's how much money I've been making that I didn't even fucking know that once you hit $10,000, they put your shit on fucking hold. That's how, that's the change that you have to make. Seriously, that is the change that you have to make. You have to decide that I am no longer going to accept I'm no longer going to accept poverty. That is the first thing that you have to do. The second thing you have to do is realize that everything is energy. And because everything is energy, you are energy. So if you are seeing things as though it is you're in poverty, if you're seeing things as I'm struggling, think of it this way. Have you ever bought a car? And the moment you buy that car, you see that car everywhere. You see that car, like you go to the grocery store and that car is like, oh fuck, that's not my car. You have just became a vibrational match for your car. So you see your car everywhere. You're driving down the freeway, you're driving, you come wherever you may go, you will always see your car because you became a vibrational match to the car that you just bought. Now, the moment you buy a new car, you see that new car everywhere else, and you start to see less and less of the car that you currently had. So you change the vibration of having that car to having a new car, right? So since you change the vibration of where you're at, You changed your vehicle. You changed where you're at. Now you're vibrating at having that car because now you're at the grocery store and now you see your new car. And you don't hardly ever see your old car because you're not at a vibrational having that. Like, you might, like, notice it, but you don't really see it. You notice more of that new car than you do the old things that you have. So you have to get into the vibration. You have to become a vibrational match. Well, how the fuck do I do that if I don't got shit? You got to change your relationship with money. You got to change your relationship with success. You got to change your relationship with what you think success and having financial stability, because it's necessary. It is necessary. Money is just a tool, but money is definitely necessary. What do you think? Do you think that money is the root to all evil? Do you think that you have to work hard? What is your belief system in money? What do you believe about money? Because that could be the reason why you're in poverty. If you were sitting there trying to figure out, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. If every month you got a paycheck, every fucking month, every week you get paid, every 2 weeks you get paid, but before you get that paycheck, it's gone. Are you treating your money as though it's going to end? Are you treating your money like, I got to save this because I got bills to pay? So back to how I got from living in a hotel, not making any fucking money, trying to figure out how the fuck am I going to do this. My entire life, I have always struggled. I've always struggled. Growing up, my mother was not, she was not rich. She wasn't wealthy. Although she kind of did come from a wealthy family, she wasn't rich. We didn't grow up with the best of things at all. We moved every time you turned around. It was a struggle. She had 3 kids and she had a hard time. My brother, by the time my brother was 13 years old, my brother was 6 feet tall. He wore a 16 size shoe. So could you imagine having 3 kids and a boy who was only 14 who's wearing a 16 size shoe, and you gotta fucking get custom shoes and you're working fucking 3 jobs just to make ends meet? So I didn't grow up with a lot. My biological father wasn't around. My stepfather, when he came around, it still was like we were good, but we weren't that great. And then because of my relationship with my mother, I ended up moving out at the age of 16. So here I am at 16 having 3 jobs. I worked early in the morning. I went to school, high school, and then I had 2 jobs after that. I would go to, at 3:30, I would go to work at the YMCA. And then at 7 o'clock, I would go to work for 7-Eleven. And then I would go home, go to sleep for about 3 hours, wake up, and go work for a daycare, get off, and be at school by 9:45. And I repeated this process until I was a senior in high school. So for me, it was a struggle because I didn't learn how to handle my finances. My mother didn't teach me. All she told me was, you gotta save, you gotta save, you gotta save. But it didn't make any sense to me when I don't make enough money to save, because every dime I get comes out before I even get it. So my mindset on how money was fuck, I always have to, like, I treated money like it was a bad guy. I treated money like it was a disdain relationship with money, because I didn't have enough time to appreciate it, because I wasn't getting enough money to be able to be happy with money. So I had to learn that I had a bad relationship with money. I had to go get some tools to help me learn how to build a relationship with money. Like, I thought, well, maybe if I just say this about money, because I would do affirmations and the shit wouldn't work. But I had to learn, I had to go get tools to increase my relationship, my intimacy with money. I had to learn the vibration of what money really is and how to use money as a tool to get the means of what I need. So here I am in poverty, always in poverty. Every time you turn around, I've always worked several jobs. I've always had my own, but it was always a struggle. And then the moment I have my son, it throws me into even more chaos. And because it throws me into even more chaos, I had to move in with my mother, because the father of my child was not financially taking care of him. So I had to move in with my mother. And even in that situation, my mother, who was on Social Security, couldn't help me much. So here I am still with a poverty mindset, still begging people who have no money. I would beg my mother, Mom, I need help with this. Mom, I need help with that. Like, begging poverty for poverty. Like, seriously. and didn't realize there was something mentally wrong with me asking people who have no money, who can't help me. So I became someone who was a beggar. I became a beggar. I wasn't in need. I became a beggar. And here I am trying to work. Every time I turn around, I lose a job because I can't find childcare. So here I am. And for me, pride for me is I never been on housing. I couldn't get on housing because the little jobs that I would work, they would say it's too much. So here I am. I finally meet a husband who takes very fucking great care of me and my son. So we're married almost, 6 years. Almost 6 years here, I'm married to a man who's taking care of me. But although he's taking care of me, his income is enough to be able to survive. But at the same time, I still have a poverty mindset. We both have a poverty mindset. So my husband he's a truck driver. He made great fucking money. Great money. I've always, since I was married to my husband, I've always made more than $20 an hour. My husband has always brought home almost over $2,000 a week working. Over. I'm not going to tell you how much you go, but he always brought over $2,000. And here we are still struggling, trying to figure out how we're going to pay the bills, having to ask our in-laws, because here we are, we have all the fucking money, but we didn't have any good sense on how to handle our money because money was an issue for us. And here we are, we would see that my in-laws would be able to go buy all types of shoes and go on all types of trips, and here we are trying to figure out how to pay the bills. How do we pay these bills? We both make enough money. By the end of the time we get to paying these bills, we have nothing fucking left. How are we not surviving? And it wasn't until I realized that we weren't surviving. It wasn't that we didn't have enough money. It was just that we were bad at money. We were both bad at money. So then here I am, get a divorce from my husband, just started working and having to live into a hotel until I figure out how to get my head above water. So at some point I was like, you know what? Something fucking has to give. Something has to give. I got to figure out how to get out of this situation because now it's just me and I have a child to take care of. And here I am. I would get readings every once in a while, but it wasn't consistent. I would, have times where I would make, in a week, $2,000, and then the next 2 or 3 weeks I wouldn't make anything. And it took me having to learn I gotta change my relationship with money. I had to change my relationship with money so that I can become successful, because I knew I was gonna have a business. Every time I would get a reading, oh, you're gonna be wealthy, you're gonna be wealthy. Well, how the fuck am I gonna get wealthy if I don't know how to do it? But it took me going through the lessons of learning. You gotta change your mindset. There's something wrong with your relationship with money. When you address your relationship with money, when you get the tools that you need to address your relationship with money, you can start to become successful. So here I am in a hotel trying to figure out how the fuck am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? I'm doing ritual after ritual, and yeah, we get money, but it wasn't enough. So I knew that my rituals were fucking great. It was enough to get me money, but it wasn't enough to sustain. So when it comes to money, you have to start seeing money as a tool to get what you need. You have to stop treating money as though it's going to run out. So I started investing in myself. I started using money like a seed. I thought of money like a seed. And when you think of a seed you plant it. After you plant that seed, it's going to grow. And when it grows, it sprouts fruit. And as it sprouts fruit that has seeds in it. So I had to think of my money like that. I had to stop waiting. Stuff would come up. People would have stuff that I'm like, oh, I want to do it. But I would say, oh, shit. I would look at my bank account and I would penny pinch. Because my relationship with money was, I got to save you. I can't use you. It was a form of neglection to money. I was literally, because money is an energy. Like I said, remember, everything is an energy. Everything is alive. This couch right here. Every fucking thing is an energy. If it decided to change its form, that is a change of energy. If I put my purse on top of it, it changes its energy because I added more energy on top of it. So everything is energy. Money is a being of energy. It's a physical being that has feelings. It is a spirit. Money is a spirit. I started treating it like it was a person. And when I thought of it like a person, when I thought of it like a seed, I changed how my money was coming in. So when you think of money, change how you feel about money. And money is going to work like a tool. Like, you have to allow it to flow. I had to stop saying, okay, you know what? I got to keep saving, but I was never fucking saving. I was never investing in the things to make it grow. So I wasn't putting my seed, I was holding on to my seed. And I wasn't putting my seed somewhere where it can be planted. So I hope that y'all are catching me. I had money, but I was not putting my money, which was a seed, into the ground to grow. I wasn't investing in myself because because I was thinking of money like, but if I do it, I'm not going to have any money. And for me, the thought process behind that is money has an end. If I think that I will not have any money because I invest, not thinking that I will have more money if I invest in something, it's going to grow. Not putting it in the ground to grow was just me holding on to a seed. So you have to get to the point to where you decide, you know what? I have $5 in my account. Because if you ever listen to anybody's story, I had $50 in my account. I had $2 in my account. And because I decided to take the risk and invest in myself, I became a millionaire. And I see the fruit of that for myself. I invested in myself to change my mindset. The moment I changed my mindset, money started flowing. I invested in some other things to grow my money. I took these seeds that I have because my money kept growing. And as my money kept growing, I kept getting more fruit. And the more fruit I got, I took the seeds out and I kept planting them. So you have to get to the point to where you start planting your seeds to grow. Allow it to be in flow. So to kind of break it down a little bit further, I decided to use the assistance of the universe. I studied the laws of attraction. I used the laws of attraction. I wrote every fucking thing down. When I invested myself into getting the tools that I need to undo my mindset, it allowed it to be a lot easier to those moments that I got to, damn, I really need this, but I don't see the money in my account. So even if I had the money in my account, I would say, you know what? My money has a purpose. So now I'm going to take this money and I'm going to invest in myself because I can see that this is going to help me grow. I had to stop eating out so much. I had to cut out those things I had to stop planting my seed into a place that bear no fruit. There's a scripture, Matthew something. So basically, Jesus tells a parable of the crow coming to sow a seed. Hey, Miss Maxine. If y'all are just joining, hit that share button because somebody needs to hear this. Hit the share button. So, but there's a scripture, Matthew something. But Jesus tells a parable about the crow who comes and sows a seed. And it tears a rift in the seeds, and some get planted in the ground, some get planted on rocks, some get planted on other places. And he talks about how the ones who got planted, the ones that got dropped on the rocky places, it sprouted, but it withered and died because it wasn't fertile. It wasn't fertile. And sometimes you got to think of what you're doing. What are you spending your money on? Are you spending it on something that is going to create its fertileness? Or are you spending it on something that is are you planting your seed in fertile ground to be able to grow? Or are you planting it or allowing it to fall in places where it's not going to grow at all? So when it comes to manifesting, when you're trying to change your life from one to the next, when you're trying to raise your vibration, if you are struggling right now, whatever you have. So if you don't have any money right now, use your sole purpose to create money. And as you do that, research small tools, because I had to do that before I can even get to the course that I needed to go to. And if you were in my group, if you're on my page, I give you enough shit to help you at least start off with changing your mindset. But when it came to changing my mindset to go from being completely poor, being completely living in a hotel to I just literally just got into a house. Like I've been asking for this house over and over and over again, and I finally got to that point. So in order to go from me living in this raggedy ass hotel to living into a house, like I had to change my vibration of where the hell I'm at. So what I did was I researched as much as I could because I knew that something was wrong and something had to change. And I was doing the same thing over and over and over again, and the shit just wasn't fucking working. And remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same fucking the results to change. So I knew that there was something different. I had to change something. So I went and got a little tools that I found that were free, but it wasn't enough. So when I was able to manifest the money through my sole purpose, because I'm a reader, because I had that ability. You can do the same thing. You can, hell, if you buy a fucking deck of tarot cards, advertise it. I don't care if you are intuitive or not. You can put some fucking meanings in from Google and send people shit. Like, there are so many ways and means for you to just get enough money to be able to get you to the next level, so that you can learn the tools that you need, how to get your mind to completely be in alignment with the vibration of money. So I went from doing my readings. The next time I got a reading, I would manifest the money. I said, all right, Spirit, something is wrong. I don't have it. I can't do it by myself. So I need to manifest this. So Spirit would give me creative ideas, because that's what Spirit does sometimes. Because sometimes Spirit says, you got to do the work. Sometimes you actually got to do the work. I'm going to give you it easier. I'm going to send people to you, but you got to do some work too. So I created different ideas and techniques to bring in money, to bring in and to advertise. So after I did that, I got in enough money, and Spirit said, take that money. And I was like, Spirit, this is my last. Like, I got to pay for this fucking room. How the fuck am I going to do it? Spirit said, remember, you're changing how you are. Just like you manifested this, you can manifest some more. But you need something else. You need to be able to learn how to keep yourself in flow of money. So Spirit said, go ahead and invest in this course. Because remember, you're going to get it back. You know how to manifest. You're a manifester. And because you're a manifester, you can go back and manifest what you need. Trust me, I got you. Your ancestors got you. Your angels got you. You got a whole crew behind you that got you. And then I learned some shit that was fucking mind-blowing. That I started applying those tools. And because I started doing that, when I invested, I got that money back in 24 hours. So the more you start investing in yourself, I had to learn to keep money in flow. I learned tools, techniques, and different ways to get my mind to know and understand and vibrate that I am in the flow of money. And when I did that, my money increased. Like, it seriously started increasing. So I treat money as though it has a purpose. My money has a purpose. I do different techniques to help my money grow, because keeping it in flow. So if you were in poverty, you can come out of poverty. If you were struggling, you can come out of that. Use your soul purpose to create, because you have multiple soul purposes. You have multiple gifts. I don't care if you're in a hotel or you're living in your car, you don't have anything at all. What can I do to be able to bring in some money? You can advertise. Find different ways to do a service that's going to be free. Advertise to clean somebody's house. Advertise to babysit. I don't care if you're 30, 40 years old. Hey, you know what? I need some money in and I'm living in my car. How do I do this? Go on Craigslist. No one needs to know that you're fucking homeless. And say, hey, who's looking for a babysitter? Who's looking for a sitter? That is just a means to get you to where you need to go. And then as you get that money, you're going to give that money a purpose. You're going to bless that money. You're going to give it a purpose. And you're going to say, you know what? I need this to grow. How do I get this to grow? So you're going to find a way to get it to grow. What tool do you need to help you grow? All right, I manifested this money. It came to me because now I got something that I can do. I got somewhere that I can go. I'm living in a hotel. Now I'm babysitting for people. Now I'm grocery shopping for people. Now I'm advertising for people. Now I am walking people's dogs. Now I'm, communicating. Now I am whatever it is that you're doing. There's no excuse as to what you can't do. Only reason why you can't find money is because that you don't want to find money. And it's not like you got to do it forever. It's just something that you got to do until you get to it. This is for those who don't have a job. This is for those who don't know how to make it. Like, you're seriously in poverty, because this is what I did for me. This is how I got from being seriously, like, not having fucking nothing, not having anybody that I can fucking call and say, hey, I need to stay on your couch until I get my shit together. because I didn't have that. I didn't have that at all. Like, I literally went from being in a house with a husband to having absolutely nothing. Like, I didn't know where the fuck my stuff was going to go. I don't have a car. I didn't have shit. I didn't have anybody that I could turn to help me. So I had to pull some shit out of myself. I had to stop being lazy. I had to stop expecting that all the rituals that I did, the shit worked, but I just was not putting the work behind it. I had to put some work behind what I was doing. And when things seemed to be like, damn, things are at a stop, that was my sign to let me know that I need to plant another seed so that I can grow, so that I can get it to multiply. So some of you guys are sitting on seeds, some of you guys are sitting on money and not investing in yourself, not getting it to grow. So this is how you start. Like, if you are seriously not like in a position to where you are like literally in poverty, you are literally living with someone, you are literally living in your car, or you're just completely out homeless, living in a shelter, by any means necessary, you got to push through. And then once you get to a point to where you're a little stable, and you got a job or whatever, and you're able to get some money in, invest in yourself. So for those of you who are actively on a job, you need to take some of that money and you need to invest. You need to stop eating out. You need to stop, like, seriously sacrifice some of the things that you're spending money on. Clothes are necessary, but if you don't need an extra pair of shoes, don't go buy it. If you don't need makeup, if you don't need certain shit, if you don't need to go get your nails done, cut that expense. Put that expense in something that's going to help you grow. Your mind, like, is the best investment that you can invest in. If it's going to do something to your mind, because I encourage mindset work a lot. Like, I invested in my mind, because my mind, like, what you think is how you're going to vibrate. Like, what is in your subconscious mind is where you vibrate at. That's how energy is for you. That's how energy operates. This goddamn sun is bright as a motherfucker. But that's how energy vibrates within your body. When you are thinking and feeling a certain way, that is how energy makes you vibrate. Because remember, everything is energy. Literally, everything is energy. So because everything is energy, so when it comes to us, our human bodies, our energy changes or decreases, increases, or stays the same according to how we feel. What our subconscious mind thinks. Our subconscious mind changes and adapts according to what we feel. And what we feel is what we think. Because ultimately, it's not the brain that runs the body, it is the heart. Our heart runs the body, and what we feel inside of our heart resonates within our brain, and it causes our subconscious mind to act upon. And whatever our subconscious mind acts upon is what our conscious mind is going to see. So I hope that y'all caught that. I hope somebody caught that shit. But whatever you are feeling determines the vibrational energy you are at. So you have to change how you're feeling in order to change. You have to change your vibe, how you feel, what you see. Because remember, I talked about the car. You get a car and you feel a certain way about this car. You're excited about it. It's a new car. Yeah, I finally got a car. And you're seeing this car every goddamn where, because that's how you're feeling about your car. You're excited about your car. You see it everywhere. You go to the grocery store, you see it. Because your vibration is determined how you feel. And how you feel, where your energy is, determines what vibrational match you are. So if you are trying to become successful, and you have been thinking a certain way the majority of your life, you need to go get help mentally. Like, there are a lot of people who are seriously, all these goddamn alerts, there are a lot of people who have been doing the same thing over and over and over again and never realize that it is your mental state that keeps you where you are. It is what you think, that what you see. Because as I was talking to the guy I was talking to today, he was like, shit just keeps going bad. I feel like I'm cursed. I feel like I'm hexed. Look, do curses exist? Yes, they do. But most people are affected by obstacles. And those obstacles are created within your mind. There are very few people who are cursed and hexed. I feel like my life is cursed. I feel like my life is hexed. Curses and hexes have symptoms. They do. They have symptoms. But Very, very few people are under a curse. Most people are under obstacles. And those obstacles are created within your mind. And because you don't want to see it, because you don't want to see that other thing, the other things, that's all you're going to see. That's all you're going to see. If you think about the car, is I'm thinking about my car, I'm seeing my car. And because that's all I'm thinking about is my car. That's where I see it. I see it next to me. I see it in a parking lot. I didn't even realize my neighbor had this car until I got the car. So you were vibrating at that. But it's not until you decide, you know what, let me go get a new car, that you start seeing that new car every goddamn where. So you got to be at that vibrational match of that. If you are seriously trying to change your circumstances, change your mindset first. Because how you feel, how you see, is going to determine the vibrational match that you're at. Invest and put your seeds and grounds that's going to make fruit. That's not going to, you can plant a seed, but doesn't mean that it's going to grow fruitful. You can plant your seed in something that can appear like it's fruitful and then turn around and the trees have diseases. They can catch diseases. They can catch viruses. So be mindful where you place your seeds at. Because you might be thinking, oh, I made a great investment. Ooh, this is worth some money. But you might have planted it somewhere where it's not going to grow. But the best place to start is where your mind is. You got to get your mind together first. Before you make any business investments, get your mind together first. This is why I encourage everyone to take my course, to do the mindset work, because you need to get your mind together before you do any investments. Because if you go and invest, if you look at the statistics of what they say when people start a business, the success rate of businesses is only 85% of businesses are, like, seriously, 85% of businesses who start fail. That is a huge number. 85% of people who start new businesses fail within the first to 5 years. Like, that is a serious mind thing. Like, you cannot go in, like, you can't become a doctor without going to school. You can't become anything without learning how to do so. So invest in something that's going to help you. Seriously, invest in your mind so that you can become successful. Because I did it myself. I went from not having shit, staying in a hotel, to learning and understanding that I can't keep doing this. Because I can't expect it to be easy either. I couldn't expect it to be easy. It was fucking hard. It wasn't easy. It's still not easy. I'm still in the stages of still building a lot of shit because I'm still getting my foundation together. But I've learned that I wouldn't have more than $10,000 sitting in my bank on hold by the fucking IRS if I didn't decide to get the tools that I needed. And for me, I didn't even get that from my group. I don't even get business like that from my group. I had to go outside. Like I was telling someone earlier, when it comes to my group, when I started my group, I was at a very low vibration. And because you attract what you vibrate, I attracted a bunch of people who were low vibrational. So I had a bunch of people in my group that I'm having to shift out of the group because they were low vibrational. And now that I'm raising my vibration, now I got to shift the energy. Now I got to shift the energy because I'm determined to be wealthy. And if you're not determined to be wealthy with me, then I got to remove you so that I can keep being a vibrational match to where I want to be. And that's what you have to do with you. You got to start removing things and people out of your life to help you become a vibrational match to what you desire. If that is what you really desire. Because some people really don't want to be, they don't really want to be. Like if you're making excuse after excuse as to why, like I didn't try this, I didn't try that, and it's not working. I don't know what else to do. I'm so confused. That's because you're letting it succumb you. You're letting it conquer you, and don't allow it to conquer you. It's going to be hard. Expect it to be hard. These businesses that are multi-billion-dollar businesses, they didn't have it easy. They're still trying to figure the shit out too. But they got a better handle on it when they first started. So you got to realize, even the company that you work for, if you have a job, even the company that you work for, they had to start somewhere. And they had to consistently work at it in order to get to where they're at. It takes 5 years to get into the black. If you don't know what the black is in business, you need to do your research. But seriously, if you were trying to become a vibrational match, if you're trying to get out of poverty or where you are, please keep rewatching what I just told you, because it's going to resonate with you. It really is going to resonate with you, because you're going to be able to get out of poverty. You're going to be able to get to one to the next, because I want you to be successful. I want you to go from where you are. Like, success is not a secret. There's nothing secretive about a success. There's nothing that you can, there's nothing secretive about getting success. The formula is always going to be the same. You just got to put in the work to do it. You got to stop expecting it to be easy. You got to stop expecting things to come, just fall into your lap. Even if you are a practitioner, even if you do work as I do, the work that I do, I have learned it has increased what I expected. It is just an energy boost to what I am doing, what I'm expecting, what I'm wanting. So if you are trying to become successful, do it by any means necessary. And before I go, I'm going to put my plug in. And I hope that y'all share, because somebody is going to become wealthy because of what I'm saying. Somebody is going to be able to make money. Someone who is poor is going to be able to become wealthy because of what I'm telling you. And I hope that you decide to invest in my course once you get to the point to where you have the money too. Because I'm not changing it. I'm not doing payment plans, because I'm worth more than a payment plan. I have a lot of tools and information that you can use. Sign up for my class. If you know someone who needs a new mindset, who has the money, sign up. Find a way to manifest the money. Because some of y'all need my course. Seriously. Some of y'all have been looking at it and have the money, but won't spend it because you don't think that your money is going to be in flow if you do. Like, you put a pause on your money. But here you are, you know you need it. Spirit's been telling you, you need this course, you need this course. Look, come check it out. And you're like, no, I don't have the money for it. But Spirit is like, well, if you ask me, I can come up with ways for you to have it. I can manifest it for you. I don't just have the mindset course, I offer readings. I make sure that every time I do, I promote myself, because I have a business to run. I'm always going to promote my businesses, as well as should you. Anytime you talk to someone, you should always be promoting your business. I offer readings. I offer one-on-one coaching. I offer so much. If you go to my page, you can find the link to many things that I offer. If you need help in love, if you need help in finances, if you need to talk to your loved ones who have passed away, if you need to find your soulmate, if you want to know if you're going to have children, I have so many services that I offer, not just my mindset course. But I want you guys to share this, because someone really needs to know. Someone who is poor, someone who's living in their car, someone who is living with someone needs to know how the fuck to get out of this crazy situation. Someone needs to know that they got to change their vibration so that they can become wealthy. And even if you're not, if you have all of your shit and you're trying to figure out how do I level up to the next thing, pay attention to the words that I say, because it's going to help you become wealthy. It really is. So I just gave y'all a really great free nugget. And if you want more details on how I exactly did it, because I gave y'all some information, but there's still some information left. If you want to know how exactly I did it, sign up for my course. I have another group that I'm about to start this weekend. It's going to be a paid membership. And that paid membership is going to include way more than what I have in my group. Because I am at a vibration of wealth. And if you want wealth, you're going to invest in yourself. You're going to sow a seed into what I got, because I'm going to give you so many tools and information to keep manifesting your life. It's going to be a membership price once a month that you'll have to pay in order to get into this group, because it's time to level up. And some of y'all know it's time to level up. You just don't have a relationship with money like you should. But all right, y'all, I got some great shit I got to go do. So, all right.